Hi, welcome to my reading of this children's book by the Cat in the Hat's Learning Library from Random House. Dr. Seuss was one of my favorite children's book writers. This is not by him though. It's by a woman named Bonnie Worth, illustrated by, I'm gonna not say this correctly, Aristides Ruiz and Joe Matthew. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna read it to you, and then there is with 16 bonus pages of kid-friendly activities. So if you're wondering what to do during this COVID return to staying at home and being careful because it's the flu season, now you know what you can do. So this is the second video. I have one out there that's just a quick read of the book with a few bits of commentary about the election. But this one's going to be a bit more in detail, and I have to admit there are parts of the book that I find rather disappointing, and they give misinformation. Now I will say, I'm not perfect either, but there was an editor, and the name is this is sort of considered a really high important children's book maker. So Dr. Seuss and Random House. So it's a little disappointing that they left out some information that would have been important to put in, perhaps, if you want accuracy. But these books are geared towards, 5-year-olds. So I don't know. I don't know what their thinking was. Anyway, it's called One Vote, Two Votes, I Vote, You Vote. And there are 16 bonus pages. I think I said that. So let's get started. So voting is something we do every day. It's a way we can choose that gives us our say. Then it says the Cat in the Hat Learning Library introduces beginning readers to basic nonfiction. If your child can read these lines, then he or she can begin to understand the fascinating world in which we live. Learn to read, read to learn. And this is from the Cat in the Hat Random House books. So with that said, yeah, they should make sure it's accurate then. So I will point out where it's not accurate. One thing I wanted to talk about too is this is exactly what I had when I went to vote in New York. So that's what my voting apparatus looked like. We did our ballots by hand, and we could write, and then we handed them into a machine that scanned them and then saved them. So it was very fancy schmancy. I don't know if the machine counted or if the people counted. I hope eventually it got to people who did some counting. But anyway, I liked the setup where I voted in general. It was a little chaotic, and for me, I think it's important to identify yourself, especially in a place like New York City, where everybody is anonymous. You should have to show your ID, some sort of ID. It could